Would you like to hear? Sorry, she's not papa.
Tak boleh lagi slide.
Are you sure? The first screen? Change it.
Hello, good morning to hello, good morning to all. Just wait for 10 minutes. We have some technical internet issues, so we just come back within in 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you.
So,
Uh, Good morning to all. We are really sorry waiting. We are waiting for a long time. Okay, now we are start our session in within a few minutes. But before the session start, I want to give some rules and regulations because first of all, please switch off your mic because of the inconvenience in program. If you have any question, you can ask. You can write in the our chat box. Okay, the participant will be have provided the e-certificate and slides also will be provided in the given email address. Certificate will only be provided to the participant who will the feedback form, and feedback form will be provided after the speaker presentation ended. So your cooperation will help the session to be conducted effectively. Thank you so much for your cooperation. So now I would like to invite our speaker, Prof. Mahadi. This Prof is from the department from the Electronic Electrical department from UTHM. Can we start? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I start. Okay, I would like to invite to our prof. Now can start the session. Okay, thank you.
Baik, boleh mula. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning. Boleh kita mula dengan bacaan kitab Tuan. Alhamdulillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah, اللهم افتح علينا رحمتك وانشر علينا فضل رحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. امين. سبحانك لا علم لنا الا ما علمتنا انك انت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Thank you very much for the invitation. So now and then, potentially, I will mix a little bit of Malay and also English, I think, since we have some international students joining the session online. Nobody is available here, I think, except the moderator. Okay, so title given is how to avoid GOT. So I'm sure this title has been so much of controversial. What we call as we have published the poster, I think the committee has been getting so many comments. Is there anything wrong with the title? Kesilapan ke salah ke kan? Tak nampak? Okey. Kat mana position? Sini?
Depan kamera.
Tak beritahu lah kalau tak beritahu. Okay. Saya ingat kena berdiri tadi. Okey, boleh nampak? Perfect, ya.
Assalamualaikum, Prof. Assalamualaikum.
We start. I think there's online participant as well. Thank you very much for joining the session. If you have any question, I think you can send it to the committee while we go the session. We continue the session. If you have any question, just send the question to the committee. Later on, we will have a slot, so we will read out your question. Potentially, we can address some issues, whatever that we can help for the student, especially. Okay. My name is Muhammad Mahadi. I am from FKE, Faculty of Electrical Electronic Engineering. This is my introduction. I have a HND in Medical Electronics, BMI, Bachelor degree in Medical Engineering, Graphic Universities, and PhD also I did in Cell Engineering, Graphic Universities, UK. So our research group is BioMEMS, Biomedical Modeling, Simulation, and Research Group. Right. Before we go to this, we clear the title first. GOT means what? So why we want to avoid? So what do you understand as GOT? GOT means graduate on time. Yes, that's what we want, right? Yeah. So you are in the right track. So don't avoid that one. So what we want to avoid is graduate over time. Okay? So we don't want to graduate over time. So if people try to graduate in 3 years for PhD, you don't want to be graduating in 5, 6, 7 years. What is the most longest year that you have heard for PhD? 6? So I've heard about 7, and also the longest is 10. Right? So there are good stories about doing PhD, and there are also some nightmares about doing PhDs. Right? For those who completed in the shortest time, it depends on them. Risky dia. Ada orang susah perjalanan dia. Ada orang senang perjalanan dia. So it depends on people. So we cannot compare ourselves with others. And those who completed in a much lengthier time, you also cannot say that they didn't do a good PhD, because they have learned so many other things during that so many years. And those who have accomplished in the shortest time, you also cannot say, oh, they didn't learn much. We don't know what they have gone through, right? This is few excuse me, expected and unexpected events in conducting research. So in doing research, it is very subjective. It is very subjective. Anything can happen. So that anything can happen. We will look at few problems later on. This is just to highlight, to start up. So research is more independent studies, right? Anybody disagree with that? Independent study. I still need my lecturer to lecture me. Okay? So this is focusing on research mode, right? Research mode, doing research. Independent studies. So the lecturer won't be there sometimes, or most of the time. You are the one who's sitting in your office, in your workstation, wherever you are, you keep on doing your research. So you are independent. You are still guided by the supervisor, but you are independent. High maturity. So you are no longer undergraduate student. You are postgraduate student. So they call you differently, right? Postgraduate student. So they assume you are a matured student. Matured maksudnya? Matured lah, tak sama macam student undergrad lah kan. So you are moving to the next level. Dia lebih matang, macam-macam dia tahu. That's the idea that we have when we receive you. You are matured, right? self-confidence. The students are expected to have self-confidence. Your confidence about your work, your research work, your studies, yourself, your confidence. Kan asyik tanya soalan je. Dah daftar dah ni. Sem 1 dah habis. Still tanya dekat kawan meja sebelah tu. We still asking question. Agak-agak aku boleh buat ke? Kita tanya. We still asking our friends. Do you think I can complete my PhD? We have no confidence on ourselves. So how are we going to get through this 3 years or 2 years of masters or PhD? So we need the student to acquire these self-confidence skills as well. Sometimes you will have a supervisor who have good sense of humor, right? So you are expected to, to be in line with that. So he will make a joke, and then you can, take it as a joke. All right. So I mean, we had a very big group of postgraduate students. So sometimes when we make a joke, this guy, he is still not laughing or doing and showing any reaction, just pretending like that. So if 6, 7 of them are laughing, he himself, he will just maintain. Seorang ni yang tak ketawa, yang lain semua ketawa. So, apa masalah dia? Dia memang dia tak kerti nak enjoy sense of humor, kan? Dia tak ada connection saraf ketawa tu. Jadi, so you are expected to have this sense of humor because you are no longer undergraduate student, so they will make a joke, fun or something. So you just go along. This is how we get to know our supervisor better as well. You build the chemistry. What they say, chemistry. So if you don't laugh at his joke, how can you build the chemistry? Supervisor pun suspect kata ni orang ke apa ni, kan? Straight dia, right? Assumption of intelligence level by supervisor. High-ranking universities. This has happened in the past. Sorry. Cara dia, student mendaftar, you register, the supervisor is expecting so much from you. Supervisor sees your. Okay, let's take an example. You are straight from degree directly doing PhD. Ni yang kata kategori scorer lah kan, direct. So you go straight from degree to PhD. Supervisors has assumption on your intelligence level. Kata student ni tak perlu tolong banyak kerja dia boleh buat sendiri. Betul? Setuju? Okay, so the supervisor thinks that you know much, you know so many things because you are what we call 3-pointer student or 4-flat student, right? Or even before, after that you did a master or something, then you join in his group in PhD. He's still assuming that you are a very intelligent student. But to be true, you are intelligent at that time, but when doing research, it's a different story, right? It's a different ball game, we call it. It's a different thing. I mean, everyone has experience now. You have started your studies. You can see what is the difference in doing research compared to undergraduates, masters before, isn't it? So it's totally different. But the problem is when the supervisor has this assumption, he will expect something from you. He will have high expectation. So I will just give him a very short instruction, but he will finish the work. For example, I will just say to him A, B, C. He will complete the rest. So supervisor, they like this kind of student. I mean, I like this kind of student. Minimum instruction, maximum output. But to assume all the students they can be like this at the early semester is quite you know, unlikely. You know, you'll have few students that they are very, you know, bright and intelligent. So if we say ABC, they will complete the rest of the work. I've seen in my group 3 or 4 students like that. They are very good, and until now they are doing well. One of them are Nigerian. They went. They are doing well, but okay, they are very good. If I say to him write 1 paper, he will write 2 papers. So these are the students that I had before. And I mean, if I talk about the behavior, I have 7, 8 of students there. 8 of them are different. They are not same. So it's quite difficult for supervisors to understand each of them, right? But there are students that you have to tell them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then they will perform. So you have to do extra work. Then the student will come up with the maximum outcome or output, right? Therefore, the supervisor will have high expectation. Multitasking, I put there multitasking, too many activities at one time. What research student likes to do multitasking? Can you name it? Ada? Contoh. Apa dia? Apa? Those audience are in front of me, you can answer. Otherwise, you will fall asleep. Huh? Ada tak multitasking? Apa suka buat? You like to do what? Writing. You like to do experiment. You like to do what? Literature review. Do publication. Going conference. Presenting posters. So many things you do. Multitasking. But that one is good. There is another multitasking. We will look at that later on as well. Okay? We will look at that later on as well. One thing that I find out is there is problems when the student they come to a point that they cannot think anymore. Ada tak orang ni? They call it mental block. Huh? Sometimes mental block happens to final year student during final exam, right? Suddenly everything is lost because they do so many revision at the very last minute. Similarly, research student also, after you do 1, 2 semesters, your graph will start to go down. Especially like international student, right? When you first get the offer letter from UTHM, you say, okay, where is UTHM? Parik Raja. Yo, sounds very good. Parik Raja and Johor. I can't wait to go there. Yes, huh? Right? You have seen UTHM, you have seen UTHM online, YouTube. Okay, you try to find out where is UTHM. So you are very much eager to come to Malaysia. So that's everything will start. You will take the flight. You still feel excited, you know. Or landing where? KLIA. So when you look at KLIA, you say, oh, very nice, Malaysia. At that time, your energy of continuing education, doing PhD master is still high. Until you register, until you meet your supervisor, right? Until you see the library, very beautiful library, and you met your supervisor, very good supervisor, environment, everything, your lab, your workstation. First semester finish, second semester. After second semester, you will start to see your graph is going down slowly. Why? It is normal because it is seems like we, you know, driving a car, you know. After some time, you have to take a break. Otherwise, you will fall asleep. Same like a horse. They give an example like a horse. You know, a horse, in the morning, the horse will race, right? The horse will race. But in the night, you'll have to bring the horse to the resting place so the horse will rest. So you cannot ask the horse to race in the night as well. Race in the morning, race in the night as well. So it's not possible. You will not get the maximum performance. Similarly, we will have that mental block or the graph is going down. We call it saturation, saturation. Engineering students must know saturation, right? The graph is going down. For that, you need to take a break. It's called uninstall. Uninstall and install. What is that? You have to go out from your environment, research, everything. Just go maybe in the jungle, air terjun, kan, berkelah ke, 1-2 hari, uninstall, buang semua kan. And then after 2-3 days you come back, you will come back with a very full energy, strong energy. You re-continue your studies. But if you keep pushing, what will happen? You will sleep on your workstation. Every day is the same. Right? Every day is the same. What we'll do? Termasuk lab, we log in the computer. First kita akan buka satu journal, baca. Semangat lah kan? Motivasi pada hari ini. Baca satu journal. Baca satu journal, tak sampai 10 minit, kita dapat notification Facebook Messenger. Kan? Bila nak COD ni? Bila nak COD? So you get notification of Facebook, then you start to scroll Facebook. Right? Facebook will be more interesting than your journal. Because everything is movies, videos, alive, right? So you'll keep your journal at the side, you will scroll Facebook. At least 2 hours. Tengok-tengok dah tengah hari. So already afternoon. Let's go for shawarma kebab. We go for kebab. We need to take a break. So half a day is gone already. We will look at some of these examples. And the list goes on. So many other things, right? So I just picked up few situations that which is very good that we should prevent this kind of questions or situation. This is one situation. One. Supervisors, we do normally get overconfident students first semester. It's difficult to control, no? Because they want to push everything. The engine is still fresh and they want to perform. So when we give them the title of research, he will say, this title is too easy for me. Any one of you say that to your supervisor? This title is too easy for me. I want to learn something difficult, not this kind of study. I got one student before, so my research is mainly on biomedical engineering, so human body signals. So he said, this is so easy, I want to learn something, the frequencies coming up from the brain. Can you give me some project like that? Right? So I said, before you learn the signals coming up from the brain, you will have brain damage. So I think better you go. Go and do the title that I gave you. Why you want to learn something difficult? You know, what is the definition you want to learn something difficult? What you want to prove? At the end of the day, when you do masters and you do a PhD, what you want to get? What is the thing that you want to achieve when you do masters and PhD? I'm asking all of you, including the online listeners. So what you want to achieve? This is the question. When you do your masters, your PhD, what you want to achieve? All of you have your own answer, right? Later we will ask you. So what you want to achieve? And then he also asks extra question: do I have to come to the lab every day? So I was start thinking, who's the student? Is he him or me? So if you don't come to the lab every day, then I have to come to the lab and do your PhD for you. What? Okay? So when you have decided to do your research studies, so this all is part and parcel of your work, your job, your task every day. So why we have to ask this kind of question? It's just you go through the process first. Later on, you will identify when you have to go to the lab, when you don't have to go to the lab. Okay, when you have to sit in the library quietly do your writing up. So all this has the time. Okay, this is one situation. Um, this is an extreme situation. I call it extreme situation. Situation 2. So it's demanding PhD. You know, first week after registration, okay, I want to do PhD from my home, so I'm not going to spend time in invitation. Okay, and my friend told me doing PhD in invitation no need to publish any paper. Okay, I don't know where he hear this rumors or okay, no need to publish any paper to pass PhD. Okay, if you don't publish, you are the one who's losing your work, right? And you are losing so many things that you should learn as a student doing publication. And then he also asked, can I spend time doing research in my country? So that means you are not going to stay here, you will go back, right? These are the types of questions that supervisors tend to get, right? So there are also students ask, this is maybe the extreme case. Some ask, I want to do from my home. I don't want to come to the universities. So these all are the some typical impression that will be, you know, implanted in the supervisor's mind and imagination. So what's the students going to do? So we should show enthusiasm how we're going to spend time doing our work. So then the supervisor will have motivation to supervise us as well, right? He also will have eagerness to supervise us. Okay, that's just one or two examples. These are the problems that has caused many students not able to achieve GOT. They cannot graduate on time. Let's look one by one, right? Problems. I want to take a short break. Okay. So when you should take a short break? The question is when you should take a short break. When? Boleh jawab? After completing coursework, after comprehensive exam, after proposal defense. After? So if you haven't defended your proposal yet, you haven't achieved any one publication yet, you haven't completed 1 year, forget about taking a break, right? This is just, I'm sharing some tips with you. If you disagree, that means it's up to you, it's fine. So don't say, oh, Dr. Mahadi asked me to follow this. No, this is based on my experience and based on what I've seen some students. So you may take a short break, but make sure it is really a short break. What I've done. So now it's my time. Dr. Mahadi said 1 year I can take a short break. So you take a 6 month break. Okay? Or 2 months, 3 months break. Okay, I've achieved some. The problem is when you go for more than 1 month's break, you will lose the momentum of your research. Then when you come back after 1 month, you will struggle to have the same speed again. Trust me. So don't do this. Don't take this long break. Unless you have like maternity leave, right? So that's a different story. Maternity leave, so you cannot, but you can still progress your work and while you are at home. That is very challenging for ladies, especially when you have maternity leave. It's very challenging. But some have shown that they are able to to pull their socks and do the work until they complete their studies. Do side activities that contribute to loss of focus. Mainly what? Side business. Business, vacation. Ada jumpa? Ada jumpa tak? Kawan-kawan yang buat side business ni. Tak salah kan? Mungkin dia nak cari financial support. Ada orang nak funding kan? There's no fund, so he has to do side. But always remember your main focus is on your studies. Side business is side business. Vacation, going for vacation here and there. I mean, locally, when you do PhD local in Malaysia, you don't travel that much. I believe same with the international student here as well, right? But when I was in the UK, I was studying my undergraduate, postgrad. There is a lot of temptation to travel to Europe and here and there. So, right? So to go there, you know, you can see your friends going, coming back, you know. But I have refrained myself from traveling. So I stayed home, continued my studies and didn't go so much of traveling. So this one, if you travel so much, you are going out from your office, going out of from the focus of your studies, you travel here and there. The time is passing. By the time normally the students say, oh, PhD is very long, 3 years, right? 3 years is very long, but suddenly you realize that you are on the final year. After you registered, masters or PhD same, you already see now, I'm already in the second year or the last year of my master's studies or PhD studies. Because time flies. Time flies. 1 year is like 1 month. 1 month is like 1 week. 1 week is like 1 day. 1 day is like 1 hour. This is the sign of Qiyamah. The time, the barakah of time is going less very much. So nowadays, time is very precious. You just pray Friday prayer, is already again another Friday prayer. Right? Kalau dulu kita sembahyang Jumaat tunggu Jumaat ni akan datang tu rasa macam sebulan lama ni. Sekarang dah Jumaat ni. Very quick. So time is very quick. Another problem is love affair. So this with the bachelor student. I mean, they're doing master PhD, but they are engaged in love affair. It will cause some sort of damage when you break up, right? So we have seen you break up, kan? Apa ni? Kawan perempuan dia tu tinggalkan dia tak lalu makan nasi tu. Duduk di asrama, hostel, tengok atas, nangis, kan? Mata merah, tak mandi, baju tak pakai seluar je. So I have seen this in front of. Then what happened to this student? He failed. He didn't complete the studies. Hanya kerana break up dengan kawan perempuan itu. Girlfriend. So when break up, he lost his focus and everything. Kawan perempuan tak apa kata, bukan lawa sangat apa kan? Tapi dia punya cinta pada dia, cinta lah, kita tak tahu kan. Addiction to social media. This is one problem as well. As I told you before, every day you should avoid, especially in the morning, once you enter the lab, don't do any social media. So what is, I said how to avoid? Deactivate. I'm not sure how many of us are brave to deactivate our Facebook account. I said there until proposal defense. Okay, bagi Chan lah tu. Maka tinggi lagi, deactivate sampai habis belajar. You will have so much time and very much less disturbance. Ini gangguan banyak. There's so many disturbances through Facebook. Because when you open, you will spend at least 1, 2, 3 hours. This is how they design the Facebook, right? So you cannot say, oh, 5 minutes I will stop. It is a sort of addiction. What you do, spend more time updating status than updating your thesis content. Supervisor will say, so macam mana? Dah sampai mana thesis? Baru update je, update status. Alhamdulillah hari ni saya dah type heading caption chapter 1. Problems. Another one is poor relationship with the supervisor. Poor relationship with supervisor. The successfulness of your PhD Master Studies is mainly the relationship with the supervisors contribute the most. So that 80 to 90%, I would say, the relationship, how you respect your supervisor, how you honor him or she, how you listen, and what you follow the instruction, and so all this. But I think this one will be another title that we will cover in the next session if they organize. So we won't go detail on that one. But what is the tips to overcome? Always remember that your supervisor is your lifeline. I mean, when you do your studies, you want to stick with that one supervisor and complete your studies until you finish. So you don't want to be jumping from one supervisor to another, to another, right? So that's why I say it's a lifeline. Does never cross the line. In business, customer is always right. Right? In university, they say student is always right. I mean the students, right? But in doing masters and PhD, suppose who is always right in doing masters and PhD? Macam tak agak-agak nak sebut, tak setuju lah tu. Tak setuju kan? You disagree, ya? You disagree, supervisor is always right. Yeah. I mean, this is what I said to you. Supervisors is always right. Just follow your supervisors. Right? How come he's wrong? I'm the one who, you know. Nanti kita tengok satu contoh, You'll see what is happening. This simulation, I am the one who did for 6 to 9 months. Now you say it's wrong. How come, doctor? You didn't do this. It is actually the correct usage of words when you meet your supervisors, right? If you say it nicely with the correct, proper word, with wisdom, like our tagline, with wisdom we explore, but we have very less wisdom nowadays. When we talk to our supervisors, and this is what happened. Right? Saya betul, cik salah. Bersedialah, bungkus abang-abang semua. Kan? Daripada nak tunggu lama, baik bungkus awal. So remember these rules. Supervisors is always right. So what if supervisors make mistake? Rule number 1, supervisors is always right. Rule number 2, if supervisor make mistake, refer rule number 1. Ini susah sikit. Because the supervisor also human. Yeah, it's true. But I'm telling you the truth. The truth, you know, in doing research study, that is what the formula. He is a human as well, but now he is your teacher, he is your lecturer, he is your guru. So he's giving you knowledge. So we respect him the most. We honor him, we listen to him. Then life will become easier. But when you start to fight, you start to give comments, and things will change. That's what will cause for the relationship. The other one, supervisor is not cooperative. In the sense that not easy to meet, holds important position. Sometimes your supervisor is an important person. Takes too long to comment on your work. Do you have any experience like this? It takes very long time to comment your work. Okay, and sometimes he's not really an expert in that particular field, right? But for some reason you are doing that work with him. That's fine. Maybe later on he will invite another expert in the field to help you as well, right? But if this is the case, then get reviews, comments about your supervisor from former, current supervisors. That means from previous student. Right? Check her expertise, find out. So what is the demand? How can you meet frequent? How to tackle the situation? I mean, there should be always a way how you can meet your supervisors. Find a way to see him or her. Find a way. So if he's busy, you wait in front of his door. Then you might get him in the morning, right? So if he is not giving comments, you follow up him. Go to see him. I need some comments on my work. Show him. Because he is not giving any comments, you also leave him. That's very good news. He is not giving any comments, so it's free time now. Let's enjoy. So that will delay your work. You have to move on. The student have to move on. So you need to find him, get his comments. Another problem, family commitment. Family holiday, attend wedding, medical cases, and so many others. Sunat, nak saudara sunat, kita kena balik. Ada orang masuk bertunang, kita balik. Majlis kahwin, walimah, you will go for that. So any programs, community, society program, you have to get involved. This all will take your time, But for foreigners, I think very less because your family all there. So local, who's doing in local. So you have to discuss with your spouse. Bincanglah dengan suami, dengan isteri, kan? Bahagi. Reduce avoidable commitment which can be postponed ataupun boleh delegate. So we can, bagi orang lain, wakil pergi. Kirim duit boleh. Kan, tak pergi. Ini patang. Anak saudara je kahwin seminggu cuti. Kan? We try to avoid this. Supervisor practice laissez-faire style of supervision. Apa maksud dia ni? Laissez-faire. He will just let you go. You know the song? Let it go. Yeah, that. Once you register, he see you. He already given you this project. Okay, let it go. So dia lepas je sudah ni. He will just let you go. So he or she thinking that things will be picked up by the student by itself doing research. This is come back to the independent study maturity yang saya sebut awal tadi, right? So for this, if you are in this situation, you require self-discipline. Sendiri lah, kena self-discipline. Make a point to meet supervisor on regular basis. You have to find a creative way how you can meet your supervisors. Betul tak? Kalau tunggu supervisor memang tak contact kan? Kita lah cari. We have to go and find him. Do not wait for the supervisor to call you. Kawan saya ada yang buat PhD masa sama-sama dengan kita. I have a friend who did PhD with me. So he didn't see his supervisor maybe for 2 to 3 months, right? 2 to 3 months. Then one day he's passing by the corridor. So he greeted his supervisor. Hello, sir. Then the supervisor said to him, "Oh, you're still around? I thought you changed university." You're still around? I thought you changed universities. Supervisor sampai bergurau kan kau dah pindah universiti ke kan. Maknanya lama sangat lah tu tak jumpa. So maybe he didn't understand his supervisor. His supervisor want him to make appointment to meet him. You see, as a student, he's been waiting. Bila lah supervisor nak panggil aku kan. So there is a miscommunication there. Insufficient financial support can be a problem as well. So that you will have some disturbance in your daily life activities. So what I put there is you have to manage your sponsorship and stand by for 6 month delay. Have backup. So have backup. So you have some funds, save some money, like for a month. Every month you save some money so that you have backup when in case of any emergency. Dapat GPPS 1000 lebih, belasah bagi habis. Kan? Simpan tak? Simpan. Simpan 200-300 sebulan kan? At least when times come, you have some backup. Right? Oversleeping. When time change, does Nigerian have problem in time change? Does it? Okay. I mean, at the beginning, yes. Now, I don't think so. You have any oversleeping because of the cold weather. Like when I used to study in UK, we have 4 seasons. So when it comes to winter, it's really difficult. So because when you open the door, you immediately feel the, freezing, -10 degrees sometimes, right? So we prefer to stay in the bed. You don't wake up. But mainly I've seen, if anything involved with the, sometimes the international students, they prefer, morning activities very less because they charge the battery in the morning, right? They do spend more time sleeping in the morning. But few of my students, they do that as well, but they do research work more in the night. Maybe after 12 until 3, 4 in the morning in the lab. So it's fine. It's up to you. You set your time. But sometimes supervisor will call you in the morning. He wants to see, sir, can we make it after Zohar, please? So if I hear that, I understand that he has some commitment in the morning. So it's fine. Sleep less and include other physical activities. If worsen the situation, then you need to consult doctors or counselors. Sometimes it can be a problem as well. Banyak tidur je. Postgrad, tak ada kelas. Makan tidur. Seronok lah. Jadi juga kadang masalah. So banyaklah bersukan ke, petang-petang jogging ke kan. Jogging dekat tasik FKE tu, depan tu kan ada tempat tu. Another problem, poor data backup. Berapa orang sini yang ada data backup untuk dia punya data-data ni, research? How many of you have data backup? 1, 2, yang lain tak ada. Satu hard disk je. One hard disk. How many hard disk you have? Half hard disk. 1, 2. So you need to have 2, 3 places backup. One is your computer, laptop. You don't rely on your laptop, right? And you have PC. You don't rely on your PC. PC stands for piece of crap. It will go wrong anytime. So PC. So you need to have a hard disk, external hard disk, copy, or you burn your data, For example, what I did, first year's work, when you completed the semesters, first year, burn the data in the CD. So keep it aside. So it will stay there. For second year also same. Okay, requires good backup system. Ransomware, keep your data in few places. Ransomware ni pun jadi satu masalah. Ada satu masa last year, banyak student yang bukan sini, yang in the other universities, they've been attacked by the ransomware. So they lock the system, the data, everything. So they have to pay like 300-400 USD to open, to be open, so that they can access the data. Jadi juga things goes wrong with ransomware because we go to this website that yang ada fishy, benda-benda yang ni kan, jadi dia akan tangkap lah. So avoid that one. Better to have ransomware yang apa orang kata, yang RM50 setahun pun ada kan. So very good ransomware, RM50 cost, so to protect your PC and system, right? Because the problem is, after 2 years you ada satu je backup. After 2 years you only have one backup. What happened? And the backup goes wrong. So you're gonna extend another 2 years because the data is gone. So what you gonna do? And you didn't publish your work. So this kind of thing has happened in the past. We have seen. So the data goes wrong, and then the data is lost. So you have to redo the experiment, redo the study, redo the evaluation. So it's going to cost so much. Miscommunication with supervisors. This is also a problem. Ada miscommunication. Selalu. Miscommunication ada. No. Supervisor meant something else and you understood something else. So often happen when you communicate via email and you send your report via email. So when you send some information via email or text messages, most probably the other person has higher chances of getting it wrong as well, right? You meant something else, but he understood something else. That's what I'm trying to highlight here. Especially WhatsApp messages. So how do you message your supervisors? How do you message? For example, how do you start your conversation? How do you greet? What's up? What's up? Yeah, so how professional way? Assalamualaikum. Good morning. Good afternoon. Okay. That's good. So how do you address your supervisor? Huh? Okay. Oh, doctor. Yeah? Okay. Or you go straight to the question. Because I don't have time to, it's not my style, Doctor, professor, or Salam. I want to meet you now. Okay. And they are also worse than that, right? I want to meet you now, without no salam. Okay? So when you reply, when your supervisor reply, how you reply back to him. That also plays an important role in how you gaining your supervisor's attention, right? When he replies to you, he gives you some suggestion, then you say, okay, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate. I have one student, he always does that to me, and I remember him until now. I really appreciate you. Your comments are very useful. He will give that kind of remarks. How many of us give this kind of remarks to others? What we say, the maximum is, okay. Noted. Or what the worst is, K. K stands for what? These all are the typical communication that we receive from students as well, right? Huh? So when I was doing my studies, I used to address my supervisors. I call them sir. I never call them doctor, professor, or what. But I used to call them sir. Sir, can I meet you? Sir, please, can I see you? So when he replied, I would say, thank you, sir. I will never say thank you. There is a difference when you say thank you, sir, and with thank you. Try to understand this part. Then you will have a good communication with your supervisors. But when there is a miscommunication happen between you and your supervisors during email or WhatsApp, stop at that point, go and meet him directly, explain to him, this is what I meant. I didn't mean this the way that you understand. It's my mistake. Just say that. If you keep on emailing text message, what happened? It's going to pile up. The communication is going to start from a very minor degree of mistake to a very big issues. So that's we want to avoid that one. Okay? And this part is quite sensitive. Chicken with the golden egg. I guess you guys understand, right? Chicken with the golden egg. What's that mean? So postgraduate student, we have to push our brain to think in more what we call critical and lateral thinking, right? So apa dipanggil bahasa Melayu dulu karangan? Yang tersirat dan yang tersurat. Okay? Too much task given by supervisor since you are good at publication, you are good at writing. Ada perasan siapa yang pandai menulis? Kawan-kawan adalah dia memang rajin menulis. He is good at writing skill. So supervisor know this guy can write. Okay? So sometimes the supervisor will have very much interest on this student. Say, okay, you can spend long time here, stay here. Okay? Sebab apa? Sebab kamu ni rajin menulis. Kata, okay, you tulis lagi. So you have to remind you, sir, I already written 12 papers now. Can I go back to my country? So don't say like that. Right? Say, so sir, please let me submit my thesis. Is it possible? I have to, yeah. Then go on with publication as well, and then do your thesis as well. So he will respect you. It's the way that we put the matters in front of others. Right? Ada soalan tak? Kalau audience nak tanya apa-apa, boleh tanya ya. Sometimes you have question when I say something, so you can ask me. Even the online listeners as well, if they have any question, can pop up us to the moderator. Bad chemistries with supervisors also can cause overtime of PhD masters. What happened when bad chemistry with supervisors? Supervisors, they will try to avoid you, right? He's human, like you say, he's human, right? So he will do that, like, you know, oh, this guy, Ali, he wants to see me, eh? Let's escape. I'm out from the office, right? Maybe there is some miscommunication or what we call bad compatibility, right? We have to be compatible with our supervisors. Then things will become easier. So what I say that, catch your supervisor's attention. How to catch his attention? How to catch your supervisor's attention? Macam mana? So silakan. Macam mana nak catch supervisor's attention? How? Ada ni. Kan? Bagus. Makan bersama, highlight. Sebelum highlight, makan dulu. Lagi? Ada? Supervisor suka makan apa? Tak tahu. Supervisor suka warna apa baju dia? Tak tahu. So senang nak tengok chemistry dia. Dia suka colour apa tengok? Suka colour biru. Saya pun suka colour biru. Matching lah tu. Saya tak suka warna oren, dia pakai warna oren. Memang tak out lah tu. Kan? So you have to catch their attention. Your supervisor like what? Coffee. He say, sir, can we go for coffee? I want to treat you. Coffee and 2 donuts only. No more than 2 donuts. Because I have to save some money. I mean, that's how you catch their attention, you know. Then maybe he'll go for coffee, then at the time you update your progress and, you know, inform him something. Then he'll become closer to you. That's how you catch his attention. Poor time management, slow in meeting the deadline. Ini berlaku lah. To many students this happen. Poor time management. So you can't actually manage your time in doing research. So when is the time you do your literature review? Please answer. When is the time that you do your literature review? Your reading. I do literature review only in my first semester, the first 2 months. After that, I don't do literature review. So after I defend my proposal, no more literature review. I just go straight to my lab. I stay in my lab, do my experiment. When do you do your literature review? Okay, every morning you do 2 hours reading. That's good because that's the time when you are fresh. So if you continue to do that, 2 hours every day in the morning, you can read 5 to 10 papers. Or 5 papers, let's say 5 papers. At the end of the month, you already have how many papers? So many papers, huh? So every day in the morning is the best time to do reading because we are fresh when we wake up. So when you do your experiment, in the morning, when you already, you know, feel exhausted in your reading, you know, so many theories, you go to the lab, do your experiment because more technical, more programming, doing computational work, analysis and so on, right? And when you're tired of doing experiment, go for a break, go for lunch. Okay, it's normal. In the afternoon, you continue with your analysis, report writing, publication, or some other work, or continue with your experiment. But after some time, you still feel tired as well. You need to have a very short coffee break. Just take 5-10 minutes. Buat kopi segera. Ada kan? Kopi apa? Instant kopi apa? Suka kopi apa? Tak suka kopi. Suka apa? Teh O. Okay, you make coffee or take 5-10 minutes, then get yourself up and then continue again. And then finish the day. Right? So these are how you manage your time. You need to divide, okay? MIA. MIA is missing in action. Very good. Missing in action. Missing in action. That means when supervisor comes to see the workstation is empty and clear, right? Then he'll come back tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. There are some supervisors who check upon their students, right? I have my supervisor who, you know, he will ring my office and find out dia dah masuk ke belum. Ada macam tu. So it's okay. He's our supervisor. He do that. He check. Some people they don't like that, right? So if you go outside the campus, you must inform to your supervisor. Don't let him or he discover that, oh, today I'm in KL. I go to visit KLCC. To KL, why you didn't tell me earlier? Okay, ask permission if you're traveling anywhere, going somewhere. Another problem. So, maksud dia, ego. How to avoid? Never do. Never do postgraduate studies. It's not going to be good, right? Anyone who wants to learn some knowledge, they want to get something, you have to be humble and, we are learning from someone. So we have to submit to them and, learn from them. That's it. It's simple. But if you keep fighting with the supervisors, then what for you register for PhD? I've seen the student, he fight with the supervisor and he fight with the panel in the Viva as well. So what's the problem? At the end, he get a very tough, what we call, situation in the Viva, and nearly he failed. Nearly he failed, right? And there's one case who he failed at the end. He failed during the Viva because of ego problem. That's it. So if you cannot take criticism, you cannot take some critical point of view from the examiners, from the panel, then you shouldn't do postgraduate studies. That's a simple maths. Okay? Panel betulkan pun dilawan. Dalam Viva pun lawan. So, ni tak makan buat ke? Sial. Jadi, bila panel pun dah marah, apa jadi? So, that's it. Not allowed to publish. Some supervisors, they don't let you publish so quickly your work, right? They want you to have very good results and they are very particular. So that is okay, but find a way to publish, negotiate. Because I said it's good for your Viva. Publication is good for your Viva. Just to show that we have a very good publication record. Our work is being refereed by these journals, Scopus, this and that, so on. Then the panels will be, very much what we call confident in your work. You say, okay, he has 7 publications performed. I had Buhari from Nigeria. He got 15, 17 publications, I guess, 17. So 2 chapters, no correction at all. Examiner said these 2 chapters is published, so no need correction. No correction. So his Viva was very easy. Alhamdulillah. Poor thesis writing plan. So this is another issue as well. Writing up is a very critical part of doing postgraduate studies. Some people, they take very long time in writing up. They are good in doing research, analysis, experiment work, everything. But writing up, they take almost 2 years, 3 years. It's like they can get double PhD. Right? Because they take 6 years, 7 years to do. So I say discuss subtitle. I say discuss subtitle. That means from your supervisors get suggestion. Okay, what should be in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Subtitles, the caption that we have in the table of content, you can arrange that from now. And then ask your supervisor, is this okay? I will follow this. So I say when you should start writing thesis, please. When? After analysis. Okay. When? Chef, when? Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. After literature review, lagi? Ada lagi? Kawan? Ada. So writing up should start from the day you do your literature review. You start your PhD, you do your literature review. That's the day you start your writing up. Chapter 1, literature review, introduction, chapter 1. You don't have to wait after you finish 2.5 years study. Okay, now I will do writing up. No, 2.5 years when finished, that is you finish from your experiment, lab work, everything. You want to do very focused writing up. That means you want to tidy up your thesis. But your thesis should be written all the way when you start your PhD studies or master studies. From the day you start. Like he said, it was correct, read and write. That's the rule, read and write. Literature review, berapa orang yang baca, lepas tu dia terus tulis? Ada? Dia baca, lepas tu masuk file dia. Print, baca, masuk file. So you print the paper, read and put in the file, or you print, read and you do a summary. You must do a summary, that is the best way, because you're not going to remember after 6 months, you come back, you're going to see the, oh, this file, I remember this file. But I don't remember the paper anymore. Right? So you read, write the summary. From the very first day you do your literature review. That will be very useful and helpful for you. Can you share, discuss, open your research finding to others? This is when you have like few other groups doing the same research, then when you talk to others, okay? So you can discuss among your own group, your supervisors, work, but your findings belongs to you and your supervisors, right? So you respect that one and you do your work. When you go and open show here and there, then somebody else will do that work as well. These things happen as well. Okay, so just be extra conscious. How do you correct your supervisor findings if there are any contradiction? This is what I said earlier. With wisdom, we explore. With wisdom, we explore. Excuse me, sir. I did the simulation. Your result is wrong. Mine is correct. So what? How do you say it? Please help me. This is part of work as well. You know, part of our learning process. Sama-sama kita belajar kan. Kita cakap, cik saya dah buat dan cik ni salah, saya punya betul. Saya buat semalam dia jadi. Cik dah buat lama tak jadi. So there is a guy, he did this with his supervisor, you know. And then the supervisor say, can you go out from my office? I don't want to see you anymore. Okay? Not here, right? Not here in this building. Some other place. So, please be careful on how you correct your supervisors. With wisdom. We will talk about this in the how you react with your supervisors. There's another topic, right? We'll discuss that because we don't have much time. It's already, we only have another half an hour. Sudden change of research direction. Your topic already been completed by someone else, somewhere else, right? That's not a problem. So you need to take a diversion, talk to your supervisor, discuss about changing little bit, right? You cannot be doing like 2 years work. After 2 years, you still don't know what is your research direction. You don't know what is your research objective. You keep on doing. Itu masalah. Okay? So changes can happen. So you have to fit your objective and your findings with the actual focus of your work. Right? Because like we say, research is subjective. You can still change it. Until when? Until third year. So tak ada masalah. Jangan terkejut pula. Alamak, berubah pula kerja ni kan. So you have to follow that one. Just follow. Make a discussion with the supervisor. Supervisor cannot remember the task. This is another problem, that the supervisor already give you some task, but he or she cannot remember what they have said to you. Or sometimes they say something else. You met him 2 weeks ago, he gives some task, and after that you meet, he says, I didn't say you to do this. Why you did this? So how you entertain this issue? As a student, how you entertain this issue? Macam mana kamu buat? What you do? I didn't ask you to do. Who asked you to do this? You are the one who asked me to do last week. Okay? Macam mana nak entertain? That's why I say to you, keep a logbook. You have to have a logbook, like a book that when you meet your supervisors and you do lab work, you have to write there. So tarikh, date, day, time, meeting kat mana, so apa dia suruh buat. And then when he or she asks you, I didn't ask you, so please look at this book. I think this is what we written from the last meeting. So you say, oh, okay. Now I remember. Okay. Supervisors always asking something new every time. Ni pun satu cabaran juga. Mana benda baru tadi? Yalah, yang itu belum habis lagi. Yang hari itu belum habis, sekarang suruh buat baru lagi. Kata kan? Kena ada logbook lah kan? Boleh tengok, okay, I need the time, I have to do this, I have to do that. And then I will follow. There's another one, fierce supervisor. Fierce supervisor, maksudnya apa? Arang sangat. Macam singa. Rasa jumpa? Ada ya, bagus. Chef semua bagus-bagus. Chef semua bagus. Supervisor garang betul. Fierce. Student very scared to meet the supervisor because they shout at you. Okay? Macam mana nak buat? What you should do if you meet that kind of supervisor? Yes, supervisor. Betul? Itulah bagus tu. That's the solution. You have to pray extra 2 rakat every day. Salatul hajat. Ask Allah, make him, he or she, now soft-hearted me and helping me in my studies. That's really important. So keep praying, insyaAllah. Bagus tu. Itu je lah, kan? Nak jumpa macam kursi dulu, selawat kan 70 kali ke, tak boleh jumpa, insyaAllah. Okay, these are the FAQ that I received from the committee. I guess I just put it there. So what is GOT is already explained now, right? How important and effective, you know, is important, right? To graduate on time. So we don't want to graduate over the time. Timeline for GOT. It depends on the universities. PhD, they put 3 years. Masters over 2 years or less than 2 years. Good preparation. I mean, you need to have everything. You need to have planning that I mentioned to you. The problems that arise in courses, right? So there are some things that you have to address, issue. Inshallah, if you follow that one, you may achieve GOT. Why avoid GOT? While others ask postgraduate students to GOT. Okay. Stress during research. How many of you have stress during research? Potentially you don't know that you have stress, right? The sign is you can't sleep in the night, or you have bad dreams with formulas, uh, dreams presenting your work. That's all stress. Nightmare. Mimpi supervisor je kita. Ada. Stress. Sometimes we don't know that you are stressed, right? You notice that when you start sit down and then talking to your own, speak to your own, then your friend is looking at you from the side. They say, "This guy is gone crazy. He's not doing his PhD anymore. It's mental, this guy." Right? Stress is normal, right? It will come and it will go. It shouldn't stay. Okay? Because stress is something like a test as well for us. So the best remedies is we always have to remember Allah. Keep on praying. Don't miss our prayers 5 times and do extra zikir remembrance. Paling baik sekali buat selawat yang banyak setiap hari. Selawat ni banyak manfaat dia. And you have to read Quran every day in the morning. Then banyakkan doa. Banyakkan doa minta dijauhkan stres. Apa doa stres? Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum birahmatika astaghis aslih li sya'ni kullahu wa la takilni ila nafsi tarafat ain. Baca doa ni selalu. Read this every day after every prayer. Inshallah you will be free from stress. Okay? If you have so much of pressure and things, then you read Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Every day after prayer, sit down and spend some time read Hasbunallah wa ni'mal. You see, you calm yourself, and Allah will show you the way out from each test. Allah will show you way. Okay? Kadang-kadang buat research ni dah buntu terus. Biasa jadi. Macam dah kena marah kan supervisor kan. Awal ni. Tak kerti ke apa ni. Supervisor orang Melaka. Hawau kan. Marah tu supervisor. Tension kita pun kena. Alik. Makan tengah hari pun tak makan. Biasa makan sepinggan, dia makan 2 pinggan. Stress lah tu. Buntu. So you get shouted by your supervisor. You got blank. You cannot think anymore. So there are sometimes like that, in the life, so many things come into place at one time. So it happens to everyone sometimes. So what is the way out? Carilah dalam kitab ni ada, saya pernah baca satu doa. There is one doa that if you read one time, Allah will remove everything, every sorrows, your sadness, everything Allah will remove. Saya ada dalam tapi saya nak kena cari dulu. So this will be taken off. Baca sekali je, Allah akan padam semua macam kita padam ni. Iris. Nanti kita fresh balik. Tak ada dah buntu insyaAllah. Jangan keluar dia. Cari doa tu. Doa buntu. Doa bingung tulis. Tulis dalam Google ni dia keluar. You ask Google to give you that doa. I have that doa. I can tell you later if you want. Preparation either in physical or mental to do it. Yes, you have to be ready physically and mentally and with your skill as well. Badan kena sihat. Itu satu, jangan kena sakit-sakit kan. Macam ada student saya pernah sakit, terganggu pelajaran dia. So kita minta doa banyak. We ask Allah that we are given a very good physical afia in our bodies and strength and everything without any disease or things. Even if our partners, our wife, also if they are sick or ill also, it will affect our studies. So we have to ask for everyone, healthy and so on. How to develop GOT, ni sama. Develop GOT InsyaAllah. Work from home, how to manage? You cannot manage mainly work from home unless this is for part-time student, I think. So part-time you can do work in home if you have less disturbance. Kadang you have kids playing around, so you cannot. Like me, I did some of my writing in the night. When my son, everyone go to sleep at 11, 12 o'clock, I sit down and I'll do my thesis writing until Fajr. Until Fajr, and then I go pray Fajr, and then I go to sleep. So night is a very peaceful time to concentrate, sit down and do thesis writing as well. So when you have so many noise, sound, everything, then you cannot focus as well sometimes. So if you have that kind of environment, then okay, you can sit down and focus to your. But if there is so many disturbance, you cannot manage normally, right? So if you part time, you have to find a spot where you have to sit down and do your work. How could I improve my research quality to gain better thesis? Right? So this is actually more on the skills of writing, of our language, of our understanding. So you have to look at other good thesis examples. Example of good thesis, they are available so much in the libraries. So you have to see, right? And potentially we aim to write better than that thesis, right? So we improve our skill by doing publication, going for conference, presenting our work. This will come later on. How to be well disciplined? Yes, you have to discipline by yourself. Right? Nobody can discipline you. Right? The supervisor cannot control you. So I said it's independent studies. So you have to do your own, discipline schedule. So you follow every day. Sunday to Thursday, you have to be in the university, do your work. 8 till 5, let's say, for example. After that is your free time. That's your discipline yourself. Tips for students to always focus their research. Just remember your vision. You want to do your master's and PhD. So we come back to that question. Why you want to do your master's and PhD? Any answer? Moderator? Audience, any answer from you? No. Why? Master or PhD? PhD, yeah? So, why? It's okay, isn't it?
To add more knowledge.
Yeah. More knowledge, yeah? Knowledge and qualification, yes. Okay. Silakan. Ya. Ada. Ada. Bagilah sikit ni ah. Wakil. Apa? Macam-macam lah So many skills, knowledge, qualification, you want to get a job, so many things. You want to experience, you want to become lecturer, you want to do this, you want to do that, yes. But remember the main aim is you want to get that degree, masters and PhD. Right? If you get that masters and PhD, the rest will follow you. Whatever you say, you want to be a lecturer, you want to do research, you want to do this, you want to get knowledge, qualification, everything will follow. So that's your main aim. You came here to Malaysia or you came here to UTSM, you register for your master's, PhD. You have to focus that's your main aim. You want to get your degree, pass from UTSM, right? That's the aim. So you have to imagine every day you're going up the stage in the convocation, getting the scroll. Then you will be focused on the research. Every time you feel lazy or you feel, demotivated, you just remember that one day they're calling your name, right? You're going up there, receiving your scroll, doctors, masters. So then you will have that motivation back again. So everyone, they say you need to have this green button. Green button. Green button is the button that we use when we have some, what we call less motivation, less focus and things. Come back always to this green button. So some people, their green button is their parents. They remember their parents, they get the strength back. Okay, my parents, my father and mother has, sacrificed so much for me to complete these studies and this. So I have to do this. Push that green button, and you will get the maximum speed again, acceleration. So for married people, your green button is your wife, I think. Huh? The family. The wife. You're scared to say, huh? You think your wife. The wife and kids, maybe. Right? So we remember that, then we recharge our battery again. That's how. So stay focused. Did I able to get GOT? This is what you have to develop, I think, during your studies. So you'll be able to get, inshallah. Yeah. So we have another 10 minutes. In this 10 minutes, okay, we'll take online question first. Because the audience here already asked so many questions. Huh?
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. We have some online questions. They also wanted to ask from you. The first question is that how to arrange the time management effectively. What, Prof, is your opinion regarding the time management? Thank you.
Time management. Okay. Like I said, time management is actually up to the student. Huh? Tidak tak boleh duplicate. So okay, time management. Like I said, you have to discipline yourself. Sunday to Thursday, you have to be in the lab, workstation, university, right? This is what is my recommendation for all the students. For my student, I said that as well. Sunday to Thursday, so you have to be in the lab. From when? 8 till 5. If you cannot wait 8 in the morning, then delay a little bit 11. But then you 11 till maybe in the night or what, you spend more time. So there are students who does that as well. So they spend more time in the lab. And you must have everyday planning. What you're going to do every day. your schedule for every day. When you will do your reading and writing. Like I said, when you do your reading and writing, literature review, right? When you will do your experimental work, analysis, data collection, when you will do. Maybe 2 hours reading and writing in the morning, right? After that, you do your experimental work. And then later in the afternoon, you finish your experiment, you sit down and write a report. So, a report. So this report will actually be transferred into your thesis later on. So now you write as a report, short report for everyday task. Okay? Because the things that you encounter on the day, experimental work, normally you will forget after a while. So best is on that day what you have achieved, you have to write on the same day. So you write the report. And then you also have time for publication. Okay, for research student, there is only few activities. You should do these few activities, then your planning will be okay. What is that? You read and write, do experiment, data analysis, report writing, and also publication of your book. If you are doing these 5, if you are doing these 5 activities every day, you are in the right track. If you're doing something else, 6, 7, 8, then there's something else, right? So if you are in these 5 things, then it's okay. This you have to plan according to your capability, capacity, right? So you do. But I'm sure that the student who registered in the first year, they can spend 9 till 5, 9 till 5. But when you enter to the second year or third year, normally you will spend more time. 9 till sometimes 9 in the night. You don't go back, you sit down and do more work. Because you know work is, your result is coming out now. So you will have eagerness to and excited to complete your work. Right? So that's the schedule basically. So make a plan for every day. Okay? I think that's the answer. And any other question?
Yes, Prof. One of participants asked two questions. The first question is that the graduate before time, graduate on time, or graduate over time are the research standard and practices in a global context.
Ah, do you understand?
And the second question is that may I know the duration of the research to be called as a graduate over time? Or is it after 3.5 years, it will be automatically called as a graduate over time? This is the two question of the one of participant.
Oh, okay. Actually, I wouldn't yeah, I wouldn't actually worry about what people will say when you graduate after 3.5 years or something. That means 3.5 years. So graduate on time is something that they've been introduced that people can focus that they will finish within 3 years. Ideally, you finish within 3 years because they have seen many cases that people are going very far, right? So it's just like a guideline. So normally, university will recognize you as well if you finish within 3 years as a GOT. They will give you some stars and certificate as well. So the main
Prof, second question is that a graduate before time, graduate on time, or graduate over time are the research standard and practices in a global context?
um, um, they cannot hear my voice,
Yeah, I wrote it down here.
right? Some people graduate after 7 years, and some people they graduate after 10 years. So I have friends also who have graduated after 8 years. So they are still working in the academic lines, and people, like I said, the things that matters is your degree, what you achieve, and what you become after that. Potentially, I also aim that they have learned a very vast knowledge as well. If you go up to 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, and they must have learned something interesting there, right? And some people they finish in 3 years, right? So I finished my PhD before 3 years, right? So um, it depends. Globally, I think it depends where you go and where you join as an academician, or people won't be looking at that so much, but they will be looking at your degree. Okay. Any other question?
Prof, so far no question, but I request to the participant, if you want ask any question from
Okay,
Prof, you can
any
switch on
question
your
from
mic.
the online or from the audience here? Yes, yes, please. No, sir.
Because of the discussion, meditation of consciousness, how to catch yourself and someone.
You want to catch him and put him in a bottle? Or, no, I'm just joking. What you want to catch? You want to catch his attention, or you want to catch him for you to be able to meet him? What's the question? Attention, yeah. Yeah.
Cite
Yeah.
an example of maybe let's take let's go for a coffee.
Yeah.
We have different supervisors,
Right.
which of course you mentioned that we need to study your supervisor.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
My question generally is the situation whereby your supervisor is a woman. How do you
Woman.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So, then you are male. It's difficult, right, for you to go and ask, let's go for coffee. You say, what's this guy doing? I can understand you. Yeah. It's, yeah. Then in that case, you have to find the different ways to catch the attention, right? So normally, supervisors, they will, because they are human beings as well, they will treat you as how you treat them, right? I'll give you an example. I had my supervisor, and he has so many postgraduates, 7, 8, 10 students, many international students. And then one day I noticed that there's a guy who want to meet him. He will ask him, look, you have to make appointment first. Next week, then you come to see me. Don't just come and knock my door. But for me, whenever I go, I'll just knock the door and see him. Then he say, yes, come in, please, sit down. So he will never say to me, make an appointment. He says, sir, I'm sorry, I want to meet you. Yes, for you it's okay. You don't have to make any appointment. You can see me. Right? So that's why I say is basically how you communicate with them. You respect them, and then you try to be compatible with them as much as you can. Once you catch their attention, then everything will become easy. I think you understand what I say. It's more to use our wisdom, how we respect them. Right? I have one student, only one student that every time I see him, he'll say, anything I say, he say, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And I think I cannot count how many times he has said during his PhD. It's so much he said that. So it's like human touch, you know? Yeah. So if it is a male, normally it's a male, then it's easy. You can say, okay, sir, after a while, like every once in a semester, we can ask him, sir, can we go for dinner? I want to treat you, Then go for dinner with him. This is not what I say you must do, right? Then some people will get me wrong. Oh, he's asking to feed the lecturer, give food for lecturer. No. This is what I say, the things that we can win the supervisors. The bonding, right? So he or she will give priority for you. So like when you are treating them well, they will treat you well as well. Inshallah, that's good, huh? Any other question?
Anyone have question? You can switch on your mic. You can ask the question from Prof.
I think,
I think Prof, no question is for.
I'm not sure.
Prof, is one of participant asked about the how to do if SB avoid our messages.
Check it.
How to do if SB avoid our messages?
Yeah. So you see blue tick and then suddenly it's untick again. Yeah. Because WhatsApp is it shows you, right? Blue tick and then suddenly That means the supervisor is not really like to respond to you. There's something going on. So best to do is go back, repair the relationship, right? Repair the relationship. Right. For example, I just want to give you one example. The earlier the guy I told you, right, when the supervisor said go out from that door, I don't want to see you anymore. He closed the door. So what as a student we should do? If we are in that situation, what we should do? Your supervisor is angry with you, they are mad at you, they don't want to see you, they don't want to answer your messages. So what you should do? Please share your, say again?
So no question. One question here.
Face to face, yes, very good. You are very clever. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, very short. Anything else?
And ask your prayers. You
Say a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think prayer is number one.
Yeah.
Because already he refused to give you the time that you can even express yourself. But I think when you go back, you sit down, you pray to God. Of course, your mind should be clear.
Yeah.
Pray to God, God should assist you, touch the supervisor's hand. And definitely, if such thing happens, next time if you meet the person will be face, and you can now explain and plead.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the relationship with God is what is the main, but the relationship with human is what she mentioned face to face. Normally, what the supervisor get angry, maybe there's a lot of abandoned work or he asks for something.
Okay.
He didn't do to make up for that. Yeah.
It's true. Prayers and me, and also this what you said. Normally, what happens is the person is in the negative perception, right? Remember this is in the negative perception. So you write an email, very long email explaining. This is what happened. My chicken ran out from the house. I tried to find. I forgot to write my thesis report. Therefore, please forgive me. When I want to come to ask forgiveness, I also been accident in one. Very long. But this is the case, and blah blah blah. You write so much, then maybe it is said psychologically when a person is in the negative mode, you try to explain in the wordings, in the WhatsApp, in the text messages, in the email, the person will be extra negative. Yeah. That's why I say you have to go and meet that person. Go and meet directly. So when to meet? After 1 month. Yes, as soon as possible. Give 1 or 2 days for him to cool down or something. Then go to sleep. And one more thing we should do, if anyone else knows, that we will meet him, we will apologize. Yes. What else we should do? Chocolate. Okay. If your supervisor like chocolate, that guy, the supervisor, the guy I told you that he said, close the door. I don't want to see you anymore. He sit down with us and we discussed together, and then we came up with one idea. So we were there in UK at that time. So you go and buy Ali Cafe. Ali Cafe, 3-in-1. Tu penyelamat PhD dia. Percaya tak? Benda RM20 je cost. It's only RM20, RM30 is a Ali Cafe. You go, give this to your supervisor and just say I'm sorry. And then that's it. Go out from the office. Don't explain. No need to explain. Just give hadiah, give present, and then apologize. When he gives that and he apologizes, the supervisor says, it's okay, forget about it, everything is okay. You see? Otherwise he say, go out, I don't want to see you anymore. Same here, your supervisor, you give chocolate or anything, propok lepo, apa lagi chokoja, macam kan? Whatever you give, yeah, right? Nasi Arab. There is so many ways to catch the attention of supervisor. Okay, one is that if you have very good compatibility with your supervisors, If your result is negative also, he or she will say, very good. This is a very good result. If she disliked this guy, he did a very good, positive result, good result, he or she will say, it's very bad. It's not good. Faham tak? Kita punya result bagus, tapi relationship kita tak bagus. Or either he or she will not satisfy. It's all human. That's why I say it's relationship. Bagilah dia, bila-bila sekali pun, this is not for my student. This is strictly not for my student. I don't ask them to give any present to me. Okay? So this is how you tackle. So you know your supervisor, this guy is holding a very important position, he's very busy, right? So what you do is, you go and maybe you know that day he has meeting and he didn't eat yet, he has left his lunch. So you buy him shawarma kebab, give him. He will remember that one. Don't you think he will remember? There is 10 students, only one who is doing that. Will he remember you or not? Yes. So that's how I say. So you have to tackle your supervisor. But for this, I think I have another session the postgraduate has arranged for how to understand your supervisor. So we will talk in details how you can understand your supervisor. Inshallah, maybe after 2 weeks or something. Say. Anything else? Other question? No, other question.
Question, sir?
How
A question, sir?
to keep our work unchecked? That's why I said you have to go and meet your supervisor and show the work again. Sir, please, I need your assistance. I need your kind comments on this method. Go and see. Sometimes when you send by email, he or she is just maybe overlooked or didn't have time to print out. The best thing is you print out, write a small note and leave at the door or go and see. So, and then after that you follow up. Can I get this comment by Thursday? Don't give the paper today and can I get today? This happened many times, right? One of the common mistake is the due date for conference is today, so he will submit the paper today. Can I get by today? Because the due date is today. Right? I need the paper by today. Your supervisor is not robot, you know. You know robot? Matrix, a robot? Yeah. He cannot just scan the paper like that. So he or she needs to sit down and read your paper. So they will, they will need time as well. So respect their privacy. Don't push them. Don't push them. Okay? So you give them ample time to read. Inshallah. Okay? That's all. Ada question lagi? Ni staff. This is FKE staff. I think Dr. Ashok is okay. He's just he's saying some nice word. Okay. I'm not that good, so you can be better than me. Sam, do you have any advice on how to avoid SB to keep updates on student work? It is not office hour. Apa maksud dia? Oh, office hour. That is something like what we call, it's based on your mutual understanding. If you don't contact your supervisor during outside office hour, then you can, it's difficult to mention. Because the supervisor sometimes he will think in the night, suddenly he remember you, he will text you, what happened to the paper? Right? Because that is the time only that he remembers you. So I think you, what was his name? Muhammad Faiz bin Zakar, you are actually being blessed by a good supervisor. So I think it's okay. Just follow him. Because at least he's asking you, he's updating you, right? There are some who struggle, even they have blue tick only, without any response. But sometimes people, they like to update outside office hours. But like me, I don't disturb my student after 5, after 6, I don't. So it's just they also don't contact me normally. My students, they do. So any more questions? Ada soalan dari form? 5? Ada lagi? Oh. Two more question, okay? Good afternoon, Nishan. All this, okay. Then, doctor, any advice on how long should the student take to complete our thesis writing once we have completed our lab work? Normal time is 6 months. 6 months is more than enough for you to complete your thesis writing. But if you are fast writer, your English is good, and you have the material, you have published your work, maybe you have 5 to 6 publications, you can write in less than 3 months. You can write less than 3 months. 6 months is enough. If you have language problem, then it can go up to sometime 1 year with proofreading as well. Or you proofread by Mr. Google. Okay? How to avoid if our supervisor too shy to meet us? He's too shy to meet you, then you want to avoid him. Oh, okay, I understand. Supervisor too shy. Boleh malu, shy. Supervisor too shy. So you go see him. If he's shy, no problem. Just try find a reason to see. So see, sir, I have some doubts I want to ask you. Find a reason to see this person. Sometimes they, they are shy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe age difference, or like you say, woman and man or something. So it's okay, but find a reason to go see. And best thing is make a schedule to see your supervisor every 2 weeks. So how long is your appointment? Every month or every 2 weeks? Every week. Very good. So if you meet every week, that means your supervisor is really up to you. So normally at the beginning, every 2 weeks. Towards the second, third year, every week. Yeah. Because if early semesters, every week, I think you will look at your supervisor, you just smile. What happened today? What happened today? It's the same like last week. Okay? Then you come back again next week, they say, what happened? Yes, same. So just want to see you. So I made a joke with my students as well. So don't worry, I'll be here every week. Just carry on with the progress. Right? So another good thing is don't ask, are you in your office? Yeah, it's like question, but try to avoid. Are you in your office? Actually, what we meant was if he's in the office, we want to meet him. So just say, put in another word. So if you are available, I would like to come and see you. That's a different word, isn't it? So this is the communication sentence word that we should learn. Are you in your office? Are you my father? I'm just joking, right? So I did send that message to some of my students. My father also, he never asked me that I'm in my office. So, any question? How to? Okay.
Okay, anyone have question? This is the last question.
Last question, yeah?
Would that be like advice for those who over the time already?
Advice for over the time? Yes, very good question. How over? over. Remember, doing masters or PhD is very subjective, like I told you. and your journey is not same with other people's journey. Don't compare yourself with others. Don't compare the blessing of you with others. You don't know, you are spending more time in UTHM 5, 6 years because Allah saved you from another calamity if you go back home. Yeah, it's true. I'll give you an example. There's a guy, he took a bus. He want to take a bus, go to KL. Suddenly he went to the bus stand, 5 minutes late. 5 minutes only, the bus left him. Then he was cursing, very bad. This bus, now I have problem, I have to go back to KL, this, blah, blah, blah. Then in 8 p.m. news, he saw that same bus caught an accident. Everybody injured and dead. So, is there a blessing there? So don't think about you like I'm over. Don't create this negative impression in you, but take it positive and carry on doing it. I always told the postgraduate student that when you're doing postgraduate studies, it's like you're jumping into the middle of the ocean. So you have no other ways except you have to swim until towards the shore. So you have to survive. Just survive yourself. I've told you there is a student, I can tell you so many bad stories about supervisors and students, right? That took them almost 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. There is one student, I take this example, right? The supervisors, this is not in our place, it's somewhere else in one part of the world. So the supervisor doesn't allow the student to submit the thesis. She was crying and so much and this and that until sometimes after 7 years, 7 years, 8 years, she told me that I went to Umrah, I performed Tawaf and I was crying in front of Kaaba. Allah help me. And when you come back, she will let into the Viva. She can submit the thesis. So people go to that extent. So don't worry about these small issues about over the time. So if you over 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, you only know the best what is going on you. Nobody else knows. And we don't have to explain ourselves to others why I'm late, why I have this problem, this and that. But just keep your head down and do your work. Finish it. Is that okay? And keep praying, asking Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to finish our work. Yes. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Allah's help is with you, so don't worry. People have been in a very much tough, difficult situation and they have come out, they have managed to complete their studies. In every situation, even it is bad, consider ourselves, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He likes us, so He put us in that situation. So why we worry? Everything is a blessing. You can spend long time in Malaysia eating nasi goreng ayam kunyit. The Nigerians, they like this. Huh? Nasi goreng ayam kunyit, nasi goreng USA. Huh? Spend more time. That's okay, no problem. But the main thing is, one day you will finish your study. That's it. And I pray for your successful mission. Lagi.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof, for the wonderful presentation. I think after this session, yes, Prof. Okay, we have last question. Last question. Is it possible to do pre-Viva and Viva in the same semester?
Yeah, at the first and end of semester. Yes, why not? I think pre-Viva normally they've arranged for you just I think what we call before you submit your thesis, right? So for you to enable to submit your thesis successfully, they'll conduct a pre-Viva for you. I think it's a good idea, pre-Viva in some cases, so you are more prepared. Even I will talk about this pre-Viva, inshallah, in the Viva and the psychology. Why physical Viva versus online Viva. So nowadays some are going through online Viva. Right? So normally your supervisor will arrange for you through faculty pre-Viva, right? And it doesn't matter in the same semester or what. It's just matter of time of your submission once you have submitted. Okay, moderator.
Okay.
Are we-
Thank you so much, Prof, for wonderful presentation. I think everyone wants to listen you, Prof, because you are give so very nice motivate means to motivate us. Yeah, give. I think, Prof, we will do another session on the same topic.
Sure. I'm ready.
Because everyone, I think after this session, everyone will be, you are a big fan. Okay, thank you so much, Prof. I have a good news for the all participants. We have another session with same with the Prof. The second session will be on 20 July, and the next session, the title is tackling your Viva voice. So I hope you will the same. We got the attention like that because today we 102 participants joined our online session. So I really appreciate it for that. Okay, and we have also the third session with a prof on 10 August, and it will be conducted on bonding with your SV. So I think this session also will be a very nice.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Prof, and thank you all the participants
Okay,
for,
thank you.
for your attention. And I hope you all fill your feedback form for the e-certificate, and you will get e-certificate within 2 and 3 days. And also we will email you the slides on your given email address. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Prof.
Thanks a lot as well for the CGS, for the GSA, the committees, the students who approached me. They are very professional. They came to meet me. You know, the message was good, not like, are you in your office? They're good students. And the audience here, audience online, everyone who supported. So hopefully what I have shared with you, hopefully it is useful and it will be a sort of motivation. And if you find out any of the inputs that I give you is not suitable for you, just leave it. Use wherever is appropriate, right? And with our wisdom, inshallah, everything will be fine. And thank you very much for inviting me. If any mistake I ask, please forgive me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much, participant, for your fully attention.
Thank you, Prof.
Now see you soon. I think in 20 August we will have another session with the Prof. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.